Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most groundbreaking advancements in modern warfare, Israel's new laser defense system known as the Iron Beam. This isn't science fiction anymore. Israel has actually fired light instead of missiles, and it's changing how wars will be fought forever. The idea of using directed energy to destroy threats in the sky has been in development for decades, but Israel is now leading the world by being the first country to actually deploy and test it successfully in real combat scenarios. The Iron Beam is a laser-based air defense system developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, the same company behind the famous Iron Dome. But unlike the Iron Dome, which intercepts rockets using costly missiles, the Iron Beam uses concentrated beams of light high-energy lasers to burn incoming rockets, mortars, and drones out of the sky. It's fast, precise, and most importantly, nearly cost-free compared to missile intercepts. Imagine this. A single Iron Dome missile interceptor can cost between $40 zeros, euro 0 and $1, 100 zeros, euro 0 each time it's launched. Now compare that to the Iron Beam, where each shot costs just a few dollars in electricity. That means Israel can shoot down endless numbers of threats at almost no cost. In modern warfare, where small drones and rockets are launched by the hundreds, this cost difference changes everything. The technology behind the Iron Beam is based on high-energy lasers operating at over 100 kilowatts. When the system locks onto a target, the laser heats it up to thousands of degrees within seconds, destroying it mid-air before it can reach populated areas. There's no explosion, no debris raining down, and no sound of intercepting missiles. Just a quiet beam of light that ends the threat instantly. This is the next evolution of air defense. Israel has faced thousands of rockets and drones from groups like Hamas and Hezbollah over the years. Traditional defense systems, while effective, have always been expensive to operate. The Iron Beam changes that balance entirely. Now Israel can protect itself endlessly without worrying about running out of missiles or bankrupting its defense budget. What makes this system even more impressive is how compact and efficient it is. The Iron Beam units can be mounted on vehicles, ships, or fixed positions around cities. That flexibility allows Israel to cover large areas, quickly respond to incoming attacks, and create a defensive shield made entirely of energy. It's silent, invisible, and deadly accurate. One of the key features of the Iron Beam is how fast it reacts. From the moment a threat is detected, it only takes a fraction of a second to aim and fire. Lasers move at the speed of light, so there's practically no delay. Missiles and rockets that once took minutes to intercept can now be neutralized almost instantly. That kind of speed could make traditional missile warfare completely obsolete in the near future. During recent testing, Israel demonstrated the Iron Beam by intercepting multiple types of targets, rockets, mortar shells, and drones, all destroyed using only energy. The footage showed nothing more than faint flashes in the sky as the threats disappeared. No explosions, no smoke trails, just clean precision. It looked like something from a futuristic movie, but it's real and operational now. This is more than just a new weapon. It's a revolution in how nations defend themselves. For years, military strategists around the world have dreamed of energy weapons systems that can shoot forever as long as there's power available. But building one that works in real-world combat conditions is extremely difficult. Lasers require perfect targeting, immense energy, and stable atmospheric conditions to be effective. Israel has managed to overcome those challenges faster than anyone else. The Iron Beam isn't designed to replace the Iron Dome entirely, but rather to complement it. The idea is to use the Iron Beam for short-range threats, rockets, shells, and drones flying under a few kilometers high. For longer-range missiles, the Iron Dome or David's sling systems will still be used. Together, they form a complete defensive network that can counter nearly every type of aerial threat. This layered defense gives Israel one of the most advanced protection systems on the planet. From laser beams to missiles and long-range interceptors, every level of the sky can now be guarded. And because the Iron Beam's operating cost is so low, Israel can engage in prolonged conflicts without worrying about ammunition. That's a game-changing advantage in modern warfare, especially when facing adversaries that rely on overwhelming attacks with cheap rockets. What's equally impressive is how environmentally clean this system is. Unlike missiles, which create explosions and shrapnel, the Iron Beam uses pure energy. There's no pollution, no debris, and minimal collateral damage. It's an entirely new form of defense that's both efficient and clean, a concept the world's militaries will soon have to follow. The development of the Iron Beam began years ago when Israel realized that traditional missile defense systems, though powerful, were not sustainable for endless warfare. Rockets and drones kept getting cheaper, while interceptors stayed expensive. That imbalance made defense harder over time. So, Israeli engineers decided to flip the equation by building a weapon that could shoot faster, cost less, and work endlessly. It's important to understand that building a working laser defense isn't just about technology. It's also about solving fundamental physics problems. Air distortion, weather interference, and beam stability all affect how a laser performs. Rain, fog, or dust can scatter light and reduce power. Israel's engineers tackled these problems through advanced optics, powerful energy sources, and adaptive targeting systems that automatically correct the beam in real time. The system also uses artificial intelligence to detect and track incoming threats. Once a target is identified, the Iron Beam's computer instantly calculates the path, adjusts the laser's focus, and fires with pinpoint accuracy. That combination of AI and directed energy makes it one of the smartest and fastest defense systems ever created. Now, the global implications of this technology are huge. Countries like the United States, Germany, and South Korea are all closely watching Israel's progress. In fact, the U.S. military has already partnered with Israel to study how the Iron Beam can be adapted for American use. The idea of defending bases, ships, and even aircraft with lasers is becoming a serious possibility. Laser weapons have been a dream of militaries for decades, but until now, they've always been too weak or too unreliable for real use. What Israel has done is prove that a high-energy laser can be practical, effective, and combat-ready. This milestone could mark the beginning of an entirely new era of warfare where traditional ammunition becomes less important than power supply. The Iron Beam's impact isn't just military, it's strategic and psychological. When enemies realize that every rocket they fire can be neutralized instantly at almost zero cost, it changes the entire equation of deterrence. It sends a message that attacks will no longer exhaust Israel's defenses. Instead, Israel can stay protected indefinitely, making offensive actions far less effective. The system also symbolizes Israel's growing role as a leader in defense innovation. From drones to AI surveillance to missile defense, Israel continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. The Iron Beam is just the latest in a long line of groundbreaking inventions that redefine how small nations can defend themselves against much larger threats. In the future, we can expect to see the Iron Beam integrated into many parts of Israel's defense infrastructure, from border regions to military bases and even naval ships. Laser defense at sea could revolutionize naval warfare, providing ships with unlimited protection from incoming missiles and drones. This could eventually lead to an entire fleet shielded by invisible walls of energy. Another advantage is that the Iron Beam can be operated almost continuously. As long as there's power, it can keep firing. No reloads, no resupply convoys, no storage of explosive warheads. It's a completely new logistical model for defense. This makes it perfect for long-term engagements or protecting areas under constant attack. Critics of laser weapons often point out their limitations under bad weather conditions. Heavy rain, fog, or dust storms can weaken the beam. But Israel's engineers are already working on hybrid systems combining lasers with traditional interceptors to ensure full coverage no matter the weather. This layered strategy ensures that even if one system is less effective, another is ready to take over. The cost efficiency of the Iron Beam cannot be overstated. A few dollars per shot compared to tens of thousands for missiles means Israel can fight smarter and longer. It shifts military spending from ammunition to energy, which is far easier to produce and store. For a country that constantly faces rocket fire, that's a massive advantage. This development also opens the door for civilian applications. In the future, similar laser systems could be used to protect airports, power plants, or even cities from drone attacks. As unmanned aerial threats become more common, having an energy-based shield could become a necessity for national security. The success of the Iron Beam also sets a challenge for other nations. Countries that rely heavily on missile systems will now have to rethink their strategies. Once lasers become widespread, even drone swarms or rocket attacks will lose their effectiveness. Defense will no longer depend on ammunition stockpiles, but on who controls the best energy technology. It's incredible to think that what was once just a dream, using light as a weapon, is now a reality. The Iron Beam has proven that the future of defense lies not in explosive power, but in energy precision. It's the dawn of a new military era where wars might be fought not with missiles, but with invisible beams of light. In the coming years, as Israel continues refining this technology, we may see even more powerful versions with greater range and capability. Portable units for ground troops, ship-mounted systems for Navy fleets, and satellite-based laser defenses could soon become standard. Each step forward brings humanity closer to a future where war looks entirely different from what we know today. For now, Israel stands at the forefront of this revolution. The Iron Beam isn't just another weapon, it's a message to the world that innovation can redefine survival. It shows how intelligence, technology, and determination can create something that changes the very rules of warfare. When history looks back on this moment, it may mark the point where humanity shifted from explosive warfare to energy warfare. Israel just fired light instead of missiles, and the world will never be the same again.